2026, the year reality bites. Executive summary. The AI hype of 2025 has collided with physical and economic limits in 2026. Data centers face power shortages, while hardware inventories pile up. Executives have cashed out, signaling a market correction. However, AI is evolving beyond massive, inefficient language models. The industry is shifting toward world models and smaller, efficient tools. While speculators suffer from the bursting bubble, the general public is finally integrating practical AI into daily life to avoid falling behind. Article. The year 2025 felt like a fever dream. Tech enthusiasts and CEOs promised us a digital god. They claimed artificial general intelligence, AGI, lived just around the corner. We waited for the machine that could think like a human. That corner remained untouched. The hype reached a breaking point. Now in 2026, the fever is breaking. Reality is biting back. The great AI speculation. In 2025, the stock market looked like a rocket ship. Companies like Nvidia saw their valuations climb into the clouds. Investors treated AI chips like digital gold. Analysts projected endless growth for hardware sales. They assumed every company on Earth would buy thousands of GPUs. The math seemed simple to the optimistic crowd. More chips meant more intelligence. More intelligence meant infinite profit. However, physical reality ignored the stock charts. You cannot run a revolution without electricity. Massive data centers require enormous amounts of power. In late 2025, the power grids began to groan. Utility companies could not keep up with the demand. They raised prices for regular homeowners to fund new infrastructure. People saw their monthly bills skyrocket. They grew angry at the hum of the giant server farms. The inventory crisis. While the public faced high bills, the tech giants faced a different problem. Warehouses began to fill with unsold hardware. The frantic buying spree of 2024 and 2025 slowed down. Companies realized they did not need a supercomputer to write emails. They bought more power than they could actually use. Reports started surfacing about dark data centers. These buildings held thousands of chips but had no power. They sat empty and silent. The shiny new H100 and B200 chips gathered dust. The supply finally exceeded the actual demand. The infinite growth story hit a concrete wall. The executive exit. Smart people often see the end before it happens. Throughout 2025, high-level tech executives sold their company stock. They sold shares worth billions of dollars. Some defenders claimed they sold for tax reasons. That excuse fell flat quickly. You do not pay taxes on gains until you sell the stock. These leaders were not paying bills. They were cashing out. These executives saw the internal delivery schedules. They looked at the mountains of unsold inventory. They knew the smoke they blew in press releases was just air. They wanted to secure their fortunes before the bubble popped. They left the retail investors holding the bag. This behavior signaled a lack of long-term confidence. The competition rises. The monopoly on AI hardware is ending. In the beginning, one or two companies owned the market. Now competition comes from every direction. Google, Amazon, and Microsoft now design their own custom silicon. They no longer want to pay a premium to outside vendors. Startups in Asia and Europe are also catching up. They are building cheaper, more specialized chips. This competition drives down prices. It also destroys the massive profit margins of the early leaders. The gold rush has turned into a crowded marketplace. Those who didn't see the bubble are now panicking. A shift in the soul of AI. The bubble is bursting for the giant power-hungry models. However, the future of AI is not dead. It is simply changing shape. We are moving away from large language models, LLMs, that just predict the next word. These models are often hallucinating or lying. They are expensive and inefficient. From language to world models, the new frontier involves world models. A language model learns from books and internet text. A world model learns how the physical world works. It understands gravity, cause and effect, and spatial relationships. This shift allows AI to help with robotics and manufacturing. These models do not need a trillion parameters to be useful. They are smarter because they are more grounded in reality. Small is beautiful. We are also seeing the rise of small language models, SLMs. These programs run on a laptop or a phone. They do not require a massive data center. They use less power and protect user privacy. Companies are realizing that bigger is not always better. A specialized small model often outperforms a giant general one. This shift is saving the tech industry from a total energy collapse. The Great Awakening. While the experts argue about chips, the general public is waking up. In 2025, many people ignored chatbots. They thought AI was a fad or a toy. In 2026, they are realizing their mistake. They see their peers working twice as fast. They see neighbors using AI to manage finances and schedules. The laggards are now feeling the pressure. They realize that AI is a fundamental tool like the internet or the tractor. You do not need to build a god to change the world. You just need a tool that works efficiently. People who haven't started using these tools are finding themselves behind. They are scrambling to learn the basics before the job market leaves them behind. The path forward. The catastrophic burst will hurt the speculators. People who bought into the hype will lose money. However, the technology will survive the crash. We are entering a period of productive realism. We are building things that actually work for regular people. We are moving past the era of digital smoke and mirrors. We are stopping the waste of electricity on useless tasks. The year 2026 is painful for the visionaries of 2025. It is a necessary correction for the rest of us. We are finally building a future that fits within the limits of our world.